Welcome to College Football 26, everybody. What a day. Kalispell has returned. After all these years, I have brought them back now in College Football 25. We are going to check out this team builder today, and for those of you that aren't aware, my biggest series on NCAA Football 14 was the Kalispell Warhawks Team Builder Dynasty. There are 200 plus videos on my channel in that series. And what I have done is I have recreated the first team that we ever had in the Kalispell Dynasty. The year one roster is here with quarterback Marquise Walker, with linebacker Marcus Calhoun, and all your favorite players from that team. There is a new look here, obviously, with a new updated uniform. There are some limitations inside of the new team builder on 26. You can do a lot if you know how to use the Adobe programs that are kind of linked with it and make some assets. And I had someone kind enough to make some assets of the original uniforms, and I'm going to try to put those in and update the team builder this weekend. But right now, this team is available. You can go on to Team Builder. You should be able to, on both PlayStation and Xbox, type in Kalispell and look for the username MrHurriicane28. And this is it. I mean, this is the original logo even that was used back on NCAA Football 14. Now, it could use a refresh, but my skills are somewhat limited, and I was trying to do the best I could here this week. I've put a lot of time into making this. If Team Builder is down for you, Trevor, I found something earlier. If you are on the game and then you try to access Team Builder, it will not work. If you are on PlayStation or Xbox at the same time, get out of there and try to log in that way. I had the same problem earlier, and that was kind of my solution. The field numbers look sharp. Yeah, this is, there are some new things that are really nice about Team Builder. I like the way the field looks. There, inside a Team Builder, you can't actually recreate text, but you can put PNGs in there from Photoshop. So I did make, the end zones authentic to what we used to have back in the Kalispell Dynasty. And what's awesome, we are no longer inside of Central Michigan Stadium, guys. Back in 14, we had to take over an existing stadium. Now we have a generic stadium, but it doesn't have a Central Michigan logo anywhere. And I felt this is the closest to Central Michigan's that I think was available. So this is so cool to have this done. I have recreated the old roster outside of one player that didn't make it because you have to choose roster templates in Team Builder. And the one I chose, I think I'm missing a receiver. We had like 10 receivers on the initial Kalispell roster, and this one only had 9. So there's like a player who wasn't super relevant to the series that isn't going to be in there. But everybody else is. There are some generic players because you don't get full control of the roster. For instance, there are 4 quarterbacks on this roster when there should be 3. So for anybody who wasn't actually a part of that initial Kalispell roster, they are the worst players at that position. They are mostly juniors and seniors, and they're not really going to be relevant. I have brought Kalispell back in its original form in the sense that this is a 1-star team that you can start a rebuild with and I think have a really good time. I recreated all the players. I brought over their ratings, but then I realized that if I just translated the ratings 1-to-1, it might not really fit this game because some things have changed over the years. And I ended up redoing all the ratings last night, giving players kind of more distinct skill sets. They're not completely overhauled, but for players, say, like, where's number 7 Troy Evans here at wide receiver? Is he out there? I gave him a little bit more of a gadget player, shifty skill set. So his spin and juke are better than he was in year one Kalispell. I've edited all the abilities, of which there aren't many because this is a low-rated team. I've edited all the dev traits. So the players who became stars back in the original Kalispell Dynasty, like Marcus Calhoun, have the higher developments. Calhoun is the highest rated player on the team at a 75 overall, which is about what he was in NCAA 14. He is the only elite development player on this roster. There are a handful of star and impact players, guys like Marquise Walker here at quarterback, Sammy Hawthorne at running back, Norris Medlock's one of the best players here at right guard. So I thought today I'd, like to show you what we got going on here, and then I'd like to actually play some college football 26. This is not going to be like my big Dynasty, but today we might jump into Dynasty with them, and I'd love for my first full game on this title to be with Kalispell. All week I've been playing Road to Glory and in Teambuilder. I have not actually played a full game of CFB 26 yet because I've been doing all of that. So thank you all for coming to the stream today. Finally getting to stream some of this. Usually I'm streaming the first day games are out, but I have been doing this instead so we could do this stream right here. And I will hopefully be able to update the file this weekend with the uniforms that are the originals alongside the new 2025 set. So thank you all again for being here. If you're new, subscribe to the channel. Kane, have a great stream I'll watch after I get home from work. Shout out to you, Ian, for the super chat, and hope you're enjoying this a few hours from now. Do you have your Dynasty team picked yet? I believe I do. I believe I have settled on my selection. We'll see if you guys can get it out of me at any point in this stream. I will be downloading this for my Teambuilder Dynasty. Yes, I want, anybody that wants to use it for whatever reason, check it out, see what you think. Even if you want to put them in your Dynasty and face them, you have that option. If you go into Dynasty, now it does need to be a Cloud Dynasty. You should have did new generation players. Well, I mean, I would rather make the year one roster. I think there's a little bit more nostalgia for that, and I like the idea of being able to kind of restart that series again. If not that I want to restart the series, but for anybody who wants to use that team that maybe they have an attachment to from all those years ago. Johnny Cabral would have been phenomenal in this game. He would have. Him being an agile guard with those quick base runs. Oh, you know Ball Braven. Johnny Cabral was ahead of his time. I don't think he was perfect for NCAA 14. He would have been great for this game. Is the roster missing some players and some players' classes being wrong, holding you up from starting a Dynasty? No, that's not really a factor for me because I go into the future, in my series. I'm not really worried about everything being perfectly accurate. But my Kalispell team is accurate. All the years, the numbers, skill sets are intact. I even, for motivations, you're going to lose a lot more players in the transfer portal in this game. For the core roster and starters, I made sure all of their motivations were play style or play time. Because one thing I can't edit in Teambuilder is where players are from. So I didn't do, proximity to home. Except for, those generic seniors that aren't going to be a factor anyway. And they won't transfer away because they're going to graduate. So we're going to jump into Teambuilder Dynasty today. And I'd like to just play a little bit with Kalispell. Maybe I do a couple of these streams. We'll see how it ends up going. But I would like to at least check out Kalispell and play a little bit. I was thinking maybe I could play one full game and then do some play the moments. And we'll just kind of see what happens. If you guys want to see me do a mini stream rebuild here while the game is fresh and then move on to my my big main dynasty this year. That's an option. You know, we'll see where this goes. This is not the long-term dynasty, no, but I might just play around inside of dynasty anyway here in stream. Replace Wyoming, that's one of their rivals. I have edited all the rivalries for Kalispell as well. Thank you for the super chats, by the way, Alex and Braven, and the 46 months membership from Michael. Really appreciate it, guys. The rivals I have for Kalispell in here, by the way, are Wyoming, Minnesota, Hawaii, and Stanford. I think Stanford was the biggest rival for me from that series. I'm going to move them now. I replaced Missouri State, and I'm going to put them into the Mountain West then. You know, I thought about making Penn State one of the rivals in there as well, but I just didn't end up doing that. I think we went 2-1 against them in this series. I know we lost 1 and won 2, for sure, because I had to go through, and I even uploaded the rivalry history in terms of wins and losses. I had to go track that down earlier today. Man, this really takes me back. And I know that it says that we are a 69 overall here. I don't know if that's entirely accurate, because when I checked this out on a roster earlier, they were in the 50s. And there's nobody above a 75. I compared their roster to, like, you know, all the other, like, one-star teams and everything. And it was definitely lower than Delaware State and all these other teams, because at least they have some standouts. My GOAT Calhoun is back. Indeed, he is. I think I want to make a protected rivalry if I can. What conference is the new rebuild? Sun Belt. All right. For the main dynasty, my team is in here. Can I protect a rivalry, or does the oh, I have to hit triangle there. That's how you do it. All right, let's do Hawaii. Hawaii was the team we ended up playing the most in that series. I think we had like 12 meetings against them or something like that, because there were a couple of years where we actually played Hawaii twice because we'd faced them in the conference championship. All right, so I protected that. And I have to change my Dynasty settings around as well. We're going to just play some games on Heisman today. I hear Heisman's in a pretty good spot. I'll use my quarter length I'm used to. 12 minutes, 17 runoff is just what I like. How was your taco after the last Road to Glory? Michael, it was phenomenal. Brisket and egg taco. And this thing was loaded too, absolutely loaded. My wife did an impeccable job on it. Will you be using manual progression in your dynasty? I don't plan to. I like the hands-off development of CFB 25, and I really don't care to do all of that meticulous upgrading, I guess, with a 90-player roster. I like the more hands-off approach for me personally. My childhood... Not to make you feel old, you start Kalispell when I was in the 4th grade, and I just graduated high school. It's crazy how much time has passed, guys. And that's like, you know, Kalispell started back like 2016, 2017. Some of my stuff goes earlier than that. It's kind of crazy how much time has passed. All right, give me my Warhawks right here, please. It says 69 overall. I don't know about that. Head coach. All right, guys, we are going to make a new head coach, and I kind of want to see what it's like to not go with recruiter. They did a lot with the abilities and some changing up of how some things work in Dynasty this year. So if you are like a motivator, for instance, you're not going to be able to do as much within recruiter. You're going to be a lot more specialized in this year's game. At the same time, there are some very valuable abilities that if you pick recruiter, you won't have access to. So I really think all three here are truly in play. I'm going to pick motivator just to try something different. I am going to build a board and just see what it's like in here. And I think here, who is a perfect head coach for this little Kalispell deal here? Leon Daniels did such a great job with the original team. I'm thinking, I got an idea. I got an idea for this one right here. All right. So, y'all remember Blackjack, right? Who did so much work within the Kalispell Dynasty with making recruits and customizing the uniforms. And of course, we ended up with so many, amazing players, and there is a lot of lore tied to the Jean-Charles family. So many players. I think it's time for the father of all those great players to become the head coach now to succeed Leon Daniels. It's going to be Remy Jean-Charles. And I already had a playbook picked out too. I felt like Wisconsin was like the best fit. They're one of the only teams in the game I could find that has I formation and more pro style stuff that we ran early in the Kalispell Dynasty. Actually, I think it's with a Y. Yeah. Let's make him from Wyoming. Pipeline's going to be Big Sky. Intense. Adaptive AI. Mad Scientist. I kind of like that. And if you notice on the field, there is a nod to Blackjack. I'll have to show it to you if you didn't catch it earlier. But it's the least I could do for all the work he put into that series. And it wouldn't have been the series that it became if not for him. And, I said I would make this team last year, and I never got around to it. Partially because Teambuilder last year I thought was a lot more buggy, and I didn't find it to be all that intuitive in the few minutes I spent trying to get into it last year. But then I checked it out here on like Tuesday, and I'm like, oh yeah, I can certainly work with this. And I love what I have created here. Yeah, I still talk to Blackjack every now and then. I want to stop by some of his streams again. It's been a little while since I did, and he was playing a game I was really interested in. I kind of wish they would have more of less of a template approach here and more of like, pick your age and have some different options rather than find the perfect preset. Who looks like he could have had like 17 Division I athletes as sons? Maybe this guy right here. Maybe. He doesn't look like he's in his 30s, so I think this is going to be our Remy Jean-Charles right here. .6'4", 265. The stash alone is worth it. I do like it. I do like it a lot. I like that there's some more gear options in this game, too. Like, if it were me as the coach... Well, actually, it's in the winter. I don't like getting cold. But, man, we could go sleeveless here. Wow, so many good memories with this team. I think that's true for all of us. Thank you for the super chat. And by the way, it's all Missouri State right now because I had us replace Missouri State. Yeah, we're going sleeveless here. You don't cage those biceps. Yeah, this is slowly becoming like a Brock Lesnar type wardrobe. Hey, amazing. Thank you for the membership. Appreciate that. All right, let us into Dynasty. Let's quickly go through a little bit of recruiting. And let's see, I haven't gotten to check out anything in Dynasty right now, so it's a really good chance for me to do that. If Dan Campbell was a college coach, this would be his look. But he's a little more professional being in the NFL. But Dan Campbell would 100%. If he's ever a college coach, he's not wearing sleeves. I also want to make sure like our first game that we can play today is against like a decent type of opponent inside a Leon Daniels Stadium. How's that sound? We are definitely making our first game here is going to be at home. FCS West Titans. That was Bengals Dynasty last year. That's pretty cool. I didn't know that was in the game just by default. Who do we play, though, first week? It's got to be an out-of-conference opponent. Hey, Finalizing, thank you for becoming a new member to the channel. Really appreciate that. Will this be a series? It's not going to be my big series, but will I stream this multiple times? We'll see. We'll see what happens. If, I want to do more, if y'all want to see more, but we got to pick someone. Who's our first game going to be against? Do we bring back the Warhawk Bowl, Louisiana Monroe? Do we play Buffalo? Man, I think Buffalo would wipe the floor with us, but playing Buffalo after they were my team last year is almost too perfect. You guys want to see Lamar Sperling run all over our defense? USC, UTEP, Liberty. They got the conference slate here. Let's replace UTEP with Minnesota so we can tackle one of those rivalries and hand them a likely win. But yeah, we'll see how much I end up doing with this. For sure, I'm going to play it today. Didn't Lamar Sperling transfer to Arkansas? Did he? I'm still seeing him at Buffalo. UTSA would be a good one, too. Maybe instead of Liberty. Speaking of UTSA, you know what I saw in my yard last night? I'm going to mow the lawn, as one does. There's a road runner in my yard. I've never seen one before. In person like that. A legitimate road runner. I couldn't believe it. I literally watched a road runner run across the road. It was one of the highlights of my week. I wish it would live with me. I didn't see a coyote. I'd probably outrun it by then. Here is the roster on paper, by the way. Now you can see where they're saying like 54 overall, 56 defense. This is definitely more of a defensive-oriented team. Marcus Calhoun's a top player at 75. And like, there's barely any players even in the 70s. This is meant to be a one-star cupcake difficult type of rebuild. So that's how I brought them back. I mean, I looked at some other teams and I'm like, yeah, we're definitely not as good on paper as Delaware and some other one stars. And Delaware's brand new to the game. Your next dynasty should be a team builder team. So far, that is not the plan. Living in Texas for 2 years now, you were right about the heat, Kane. What was I right about? Tell me what I was right about. All right, let's build up a little recruiting board here. Let's just see who's even interested in coming to the good old Kalispell Warhawks. So I was not able to edit our grades inside of Teambuilder. I think it has us take over the grades of whoever you're replacing inside of Dynasty itself. So in this case, Missouri State's going to have very low grades for a lot of this stuff. And then the pipelines by default for Kalispell is a silver in the Big Sky and then a bronze in the Pacific Northwest. So let's take a little look here and let's go to the pipelines. You can see the 2, Idaho, Wyoming. That's going to be where our 2 stars are. So let's see. Any 5 stars with interest right off the bat? Not many we could even talk to. For 4s? Yeah, not expecting it. Couple in the pipeline, but of course, one of the reasons I had made Kalispell in Montana is because I knew it would be so difficult to recruit there, at least more difficult. Like, eventually in NCAA 14, you know, it's not that difficult, but it at least made those couple first classes more troubling. Oh, I got you, Botch. I got you. Oh, we got some 3 stars who are interested at least here. We got Christian Eckert at quarterback. We got Brenton Crumpler. Logan Cook. Khalil Long. I'm putting all these 3s here on the board. We can make this nice and easy. $20 targets might be enough here right off the bat. Yeah, I have not done anything in here yet, and it's been a while since I had to play this without, like, an upgraded coach. So, like, spending 50 points to fully scout a player just to find they're a bust. Ooh. It's day 1 Dynasty struggles, guys. Christian Eckert. This guy can't beat out Marquise Walker with these ratings. I can't wait to get into a game here. I'm just trying to kind of get through this as quickly as I can. Ooh, some of these ratings aren't too bad. 89 speed, 91 acceleration, 82 juke. You can work with that at running back. Looking for some defense here. 79 finesse at 80 strength as a 3-star is not bad. Since when did Christmas move to July 11th? What a time, right? Can you edit anything you want on a non-NIL player, like a recruit? I don't think there's anything you can customize within, like, the recruiting class itself. Thank you for the super chat, by the way. I really appreciate that. I believe as far as, like, my team here that I made, you should be able to edit that just fine. And there isn't a lot I can do in Teambuilder. I can choose like their face, I can choose their ratings and their abilities, but I don't like edit their equipment or their hometown. And like I said earlier, I accounted for that. So in the case, like, deal breakers are very important in this game. I did not give any of the starters the proximity to home deal breaker because I had no idea where the game was going to make them from. So I tried to make this as ready as possible for anybody who wants to play with Kalispell and have a good time, which is part of why I did make ratings better than if I had just brought them over straight from NCAA 14. First of all, this game has way more ratings than 14 did. For instance, the ability to have 3 accuracy ratings, short, medium, and deep, and the same for route running. And then considering that throw power, I think low throw power matters more in this game than it did back in 14. So I accounted for that. Like the arms of Marquise Walker and Austin Bradley are stronger, relatively speaking, in this game. But I liked how I did the ratings. I basically remastered them so this team would fit in College Football 26, be fun to play with, but still a 1-star build team. Is Kalispell going to be a background team in your next dynasty? I think that needs to happen. I definitely need to do that. Where did the idea for the Jean-Charles family come from? That's all Blackjack. I mean, he created this family that has, produced so many different talents in that series, and it's cool just seeing some of these things kind of develop over time, and it's one of the things that made that series great, and he had everything to do with it. It's not letting me when I type in your team builder. Type in just Kalispell. That's how I found it. Given that players now have more distinct archetypes in this game, I also wanted to kind of tailor some players' skill sets around those archetypes and sometimes include abilities. There aren't a lot of abilities on this roster, but here is wide receiver Troy Evans. You'll remember he's that small school gadget player. Like, he's not really that great, that dynamic, but at a school like Kalispell, whether it's high school or in college, sometimes there's that guy where it's just you let him do all the roles because he's your best player. I'll never forget watching Tyler Boyd pre-draft. Pitt had him playing like a gadget player. He was doing everything for that offense. And he wasn't like an NFL gadget player. He was a big slot, good player, long career. But, that was always my vision with Troy Evans. Like, he is the small school gadget player. He would not be able to be in this role at a big school. But I gave him more juke and spin here in this build. And he's, a kick returner, playmaker with the ball in his hands. I made Norris Medlock one of the best players. Heels fan, thank you for the super chats. I appreciate that. Norris Medlock is one of the best players on this roster. He was on the original set as well. Well-rounded offensive lineman, but a little bit of an edge in the running game with him. And he is one of those players that has the higher development. His is star, and you can see the deal breaker, playing time. For the big names, I gave them the playing time deal breaker. So if you choose to play as them, you should be able to satisfy that to keep them from leaving in the transfer portal. Let's go to linebacker. Y'all already know. The most legendary player from this base roster, the one and only Marcus Calhoun. 3-star, elite development. And he's got one of the best skill sets overall on this team as a sophomore. I also gave him some platinum mental abilities, including fan favorite. And you'll pretty much notice that anybody who has fan favorite was a difference maker in the Kalispell Dynasty. And really the fan favorite is more so Kane's favorite in this case. That's how I managed that, building this out. Now, there are some players who weren't on that original roster. Like I said earlier, you have to build your team out of a roster template, which means, some templates have 4 quarterbacks. Some have 5. So I found the one that fit best. Sometimes there are extra players at a position, like Eric James Jr. I just left those generic players in. I don't like it the one is overlapping in there. I didn't see stuff like that in Teambuilder. I have the ability to make some changes to the file. That looks weird. The number spacing is something I kind of had a little bit of an issue with, because further apart in Teambuilder ends up making it very far apart. And the slider, like, just doesn't have enough control there. So is it all ones look bad? Let's see an 18 here. How's Rashawn Brooks? See if the one's in front that looks good. Let's see another player who has 11. Jarrell Holloway. That one's okay. I guess it depends. Yeah, Teambuilder is not perfect, but the fact that we got it here and it's working, I think is phenomenal. And I would love to finally get in some games with this team again. Buffalo and Kalispell, everybody. This is what it's all about. Let's play my very first game with full teams here on College Football 26. And we'll see how much of this I end up doing. This might be a one-and-done stream. Maybe I come back this weekend. You know, I do want to get a full Dynasty, you know, up and running shortly. But I certainly wanted to make this, show it to you, and see where we end up going with it. I have 3 uniforms in here right now. The home set. Now, there are limited options inside of Teambuilder when it comes to templates. So I did the best I could to make good uniforms that resemble the old ones. Someone did send me a bunch of assets they made that should allow me to recreate the original home and road uniforms. And if I can figure that out this weekend, I will re-upload the Teambuilder and let you all know that a newer version is available. But guys, I think it's time to finally play a little College Football 26 this year. Yeah, I'll be using Mat 10 sliders. I haven't got him into the game yet, but I hear Heisman's pretty good right now. There isn't like an intro when you have a Teambuilder team. There isn't like a run out or anything. It just kind of puts you at the kickoff. Why is it 96 degrees in Kalispell? How often does it get that hot? At night, 96 degrees and the sun has already set. Something feels a little off here. But everybody, welcome to Kalispell, Montana, Leon Daniels Stadium. Here we go. Warhawk football in 2025. This is going to be fun. Facing the Buffalo Bulls, who were my Dynasty team a year ago, as Coach Remy Jean-Charles looks on. Taquan Roberson is the quarterback here for Buffalo. I believe CJ Ogbonna graduated last year, so we're not going to see him, but we should see some familiar faces, I would have to think. Yeah, this isn't the playbook I wanted. I wanted more of a 4-3, but it should get the job done. Yeah, I can't remember if Ogbonna transferred or what happened in real life. Underway. A 4-yard pickup for the Bulls is how we open. Yeah, my last Kalispell video was probably early 2020, so it's been 5 years since I've really done anything with this school. Oh, L.J. Henderson. He's the running back there. What difficulty are you on? Just default Heisman right now. Yeah, check that out. I can't wait to play some offense. Of course, they're going to make me wait a little bit. Oh, a fake. Wheeling outside, and a gain of 5 for Roberson. Just looked it up. Average August temperature in Kalispell, Montana is 81 degrees. Yeah, we're a little bit above average right now. If it's 96 with the sun setting, this was a record-setting day then. All right, getting them in 3rd down again. Third and 2, and we give it up once again to L.J. Henderson. Wish my GOAT, Lamar Williams, could have made the roster. Thank you for all the years of content. Yeah, I have thought about, like, doing more of, like, a beginning of Kalispell team and then an end of Kalispell, or, like, a year 10. But I'm not sure how easy it would be or how much time it would take me to do another version that's probably less interesting for most when I want to get going on some new projects. These last couple weeks have been pretty intense for me. You know, a launch week is always big, no matter what. But like last week, I was grinding so much Buffalo to get that done for Sunday. I feel like I haven't really had a chance to just kind of kick back and kind of settle in quite yet. Spending so much time on Teambuilder this week. With the announcement of a college basketball game coming, I'm already clearing my schedule for the 2028 for a Kalispell basketball dynasty. We'll see. I did attempt a Kalispell basketball team once back on College Hoops 2K8. I did one stream, got overwhelmed, and never did it again. Because the menu was tough, and playing the game was tough. Recruiting was weird to get used to. I felt so lost trying that out. Did you already delete College Football 25? I haven't yet. I'm hoping I can soon. I'm not sure I need it for anything else. I'd like to have the hard drive space, personally. But I did have to open it the other day, because I was, like, checking out some of my settings at the main menu. Here we go. This is a long drive. These guys are playing ball control to the max. I'm sure I'd like NCAA Basketball 10 better, because I actually played a lot of Basketball 09 back in the day. Not a ton of Dynasty as much. I was playing online, actually. That's probably the basketball game I have the most time in my life. NCAA Basketball 09. I don't like this defense we're in at all. Inside zone's an automatic first down here, but they're going to throw it instead. We got pressure. Get there. Come on. Of course, with a team this low rated, they're going to be real slow. What a long wait to touch the football for the first time, guys. How do you feel about the Twins currently? You know, I'm enjoying watching them overall, but expectations are still not all that high. But, I mean, I'm having a pretty decent time just, you know, watching games, and they've had some good ones lately, so I'm trying not to be too negative about things. All right, here we go. 3rd down and 11. And they got the completion. And finally, we're going to get off the field unless they go for it again. They have had the ball the entire first quarter. Fourth and inches. Shooting the gap, but bouncing the run. Henderson still on his feet. It's a touchdown. Defense just so wore down from that possession. How many plays was that? Stiff arm here, sloppy tackle there. We can make a lot of running backs look like Saquon Barkley. How many plays did they just run? Because that was bizarre. 17 play possession. You guys want to see what else I got this week? This isn't the only big release of the week. I've had my eye on this one for a while. And I really wanted this. to display here in the office slash game room. This is the skate deck from Tony Hawk Pro Skater plus 3 and 4. I have had a chance to play a couple hours of the new Tony Hawk remake so far. I hope to get some more in this weekend. I want to get this mounted up on the wall too. All right, guys. Marquise Walker has returned. Man, played with him here at Kalispell. Had a whole series with him in Madden as a superstar. And it's good to be back with the Year 1 Warhawk roster. Ooh. Yeah, I haven't gotten to mess with these subs yet. I haven't even been throwing the ball. We're not throwing it here, guys. Handing off to Eddie Benson. We gain 2. Do a kickflip. Well, considering it's more of a snowboard right now, that would be difficult. But also, I could not do it anyway. Doug Butcher called up. O'Neal Cruz in the Derby. Troy Evans finally healthy. My life is fantastic. Thank you for that. Which universe is taking place? It's kind of like a Kalispell reboot universe. If I had to make a comparison. First throw goes to Rashawn Brooks, and it's a gain of about 6. I am not used to this playbook, guys. I've been using the Buffalo playbook for so long. I feel like I'm lost, learning a new language at the moment. This is Wisconsin's playbook. I was never a skater, but I always liked the games. I've loved the Tony Hawk games for a long time. I love Skate 3 as well. We're going to roll here and pick it up with Marquise Walker. We got to make sure Sammy is in as the... Sammy Hawthorne is in as the 3rd down running back. Okay, he is there. Good. Skate 3 is a certified banger. Benson. Ooh. I'm liking this. I don't know how Heisman feels quite yet. This is my first game. I have only been playing Road to Glory on All-Americans, so I've heard good things about this so far. Dumped off for Eddie Benson across the 50. We're going to have to audible out of this one, guys. Maybe have some extra protection while we're at it. No, I didn't want you out there, Eddie. Well, I guess he's going to be out there instead. He'll catch it. We get 7 yards out of it. I'm pretty happy. And they automatically sub Sammy Hawthorne now into the game. And Sammy, a little more shifty and a little faster than Benson. Loved having him as the running back early in the series. You want to see some RPO action? We can probably arrange that. They're all over the playbooks. I think they're going to take away both options that time. A lot of Bulls have left the game. Thrown over the middle. Walker hits Tyler Adams, who caught the first pass in Warhawk history on a flea flicker back in the original Dynasty, of course. We're putting together a drive here, guys. This is looking all right. You know, I have no idea about if the wear and tear sliders are good, if they need work. I'm as new as most of you watching this. And the pass is caught by Troy Evans inside the 5. What a return, guys. Cruising down the field. Now trying to cap things off. Benson. No touchdown. Have I talked about my upcoming Dynasty yet? Not really. Just that there's one coming. Eddie Benson. That's a touchdown. Kalispell in the end zone for the first time in ages. This is so cool to see these guys in the game again. All right, so we have a 17-play drive and then a 13-play possession. Yeah, Matt already has a slider set out. I don't know if he's gotten to test it out on the new update. They're going to be dropping updates, I'm sure, left and right. But I will have to check out what he's made and then look at more of a full Dynasty here on the channel. JR Battle, I miss you. JR Battle's a legend. One of our old quarterbacks. Let's go. TFL, TJ Strong. What you know about TJ Strong? And he's stepping up. We can actually get them into 3rd and 6 here. As Calhoun gets tackle number 6. Third down. Pressure. Got it out there. First down, Buffalo. Victor Snow. How much defense are we going to see? So far, very little of it. This is the year 1 Kalispell. This is meant to be a 1-star starting point. Wow, what a throw. Laid in perfectly. This is the team I opened the Kalispell Dynasty with back in the day. Uh-oh. I'm not expecting too many stops today. Maybe the lucky turnover can show up eventually. All right, 3rd and 6. We try to dial up some pressure. And it's another first down. If you don't have an idea, any Mountain West into Pac-12 teams would be fun to watch, except for Boise. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with the conferences or anything. I don't anticipate making any changes early in my series. I'm probably just going to roll with what the game has. Yeah, if there's like changes that are already set and coming, then I don't have an issue doing that after like year 1 of anything I work on. When there's plan changes, I can certainly update that. Uh-oh. Man, just when you think we got him, we don't. Touchdown, Buffalo. Al-J. Henderson. Now, when I get my new Dynasty underway, I do plan on attacking Dynasty a bit differently this year. I am ready to start experimenting more and trying to find a bit of a new formula in Dynasty. I'll still be playing all the games and everything, but you are going to see more multi-game videos akin to Year 9 of Buffalo. Now, 6-game episodes are not likely. That was because I was pressed for time and it made sense given we were in Year 9 of a Dynasty. But I am likely going to be moving away from just doing a bunch of one-game videos. Give me Troy Evans here on the outside. There we go, little inside out. The username for the team builder is MrHurriicane 28. If you can just type in Kalispell, you should find the file. I know there are a few recreations of Kalispell in the game, but that one is mine. Here we go, Marquise Walker. Big time scramble to the 26, 33 yards. Over the middle for Everett Whitfield, breaking open. Let's go. Sammy Hawthorne inside the 5. Now we can set up a little RPO here. They're not going to give me Brooks, though. Most likely. Actually, his route was pretty good. Usually they're in press. I don't even bother. Sometimes I come out in an RPO, and if I don't get the look I like, I just kind of throw away the idea that it's an RPO and run it like it's got one design. 3rd and goal, Sammy Hawthorne, a rushing touchdown. We answer him again. Who's going to get that first stop? What do you guys think of this? I wanted to give a little thanks to Blackjack here on the field. I wasn't sure exactly where to do it, but got it over here in this corner here. Big thanks to Blackjack for everything he did in the Kalispell Dynasty. He did a phenomenal job, man. He is so good at the creative side of these sports games. I hope they add on some more stuff to Teambuilder eventually, like, you know, you can't have a mascot, you don't get much of an intro. I'd love to be able to customize, like, some sound effects, you know, like, I want a cannon to fire off after we score a touchdown or something. And I want to recreate the whole Milwaukee Brewers home run slide. Like, I want to create my own traditions. I want a turnover celebration of some kind, too. All right, 2 minutes to go in the first half. No one's slowing anybody down yet. Turnover Hawk that snatches a random fan out of the stands. That sounds phenomenal. He's going downfield and finding an open receiver. Victor Snow. Man, the secondary is meant to be like one of the best parts of this initial Kalispell team, too. He's going deep again, overthrown. Yeah, there was a little bit of a title drought there. You know, I think like the best Kalispell teams were like year 9, year 10. And then after losing guys like Brandon Warren and some of the big names, Boogie Turner, you know, the team wasn't nearly as good afterwards. That was definitely our golden age. I always think that year 10 is like the best. And all over him that time. We're getting a drive here in the first half still. Field goal coming up. Yeah, that's one of the things, too, is we're going to be outclassed in terms of speed in the majority of situations. Cam Davenport's got a little speed, but he's not even that fast. I agree with that, Tyler. That Clemson game was unbelievable. Everything worked. I think we had like 6 touchdowns in the first half or something. Nothing hit the ground. Oh, we got a little false start here. I think it was Stuart Andrews over at right tackle. Where did you put your pipeline? It's a silver Big Sky, bronze Pacific Northwest. So your best bet's going to be in states like Idaho and Montana. But you can also branch out to Washington State and Oregon a little bit. Ooh. I wanted that first down. Third and inch. Got the inch and a few more with Eddie Benson. Let's call a timeout. By the way, I wish Sammy was out there. I haven't gotten to mess with the subs there in game or at the play call menu, so let me pick a different form. Now give me bunch open. Bunch flood. So up on the D-pad. That's pretty cool. I didn't get the snap off in time. Before you start your Dynasty, I'd recommend watching C4's new transfer portal sliders. I will definitely check it out. I saw he put out a big settings video and might save me some early series headaches. You want to see a deep ball? You want to see a deep ball? All right. Not yet. I can't throw it in the double coverage. I've grown. Out for Sammy Hawthorne that time. But now third down might be a chance to air it out a little bit more. Triple slant. Love the plays here they have in this game and last year's. The playbooks are still feeling very fresh to me as we'll go to Adams again. Hurry up. I kind of want to get a shot to the end zone off here and then maybe... What is his route? Is he actually going to do that? Sure enough. What in the arena football is that? 14 seconds to go. Oh, no. Down goes Walker, and that's probably going to do it here. Not going to make it back in time nearly. Maybe. Maybe. I got one more for you. No, I don't. Sacked. Deion Crawford. No, Braylon Staley is not out there anywhere. Nothing close to Braylon Staley is out there on this roster. Troy Evans? No. He's like Dollar General version. A couple tenths of the second slower on the 40 time. Can't wait for another great year of college football content. I appreciate that, Leo. Now, I'm not planning on doing nearly as much in college football as I did a year ago, where I had, my Miami Dynasty on the second channel, and I did Buffalo for 12 months. What I am hoping to find this year is a way of doing Dynasty content where I don't necessarily have to do the same series for 12 consecutive months. There are some changes I would like to make on the channel, and one of those is to shorten the main dynasties in terms of like months spent on one. So you're going to see a lot more multi-game episodes this year. I'm still playing all the games, but I'm at the point where I really need to try doing something new. Especially last year, like a big part of my channel-wide strategy was to go heavy on college football 26. And now that I have a whole year of seeing, how Buffalo did as a series and how the channel performed, to put it simply, it really wasn't a good strategy. There we go. Oh, come on. Intercepted. And a pick six for the Buffalo Bulls. I thought we had him there. First time I'm not enjoying hearing that fight song, honestly. The Buffalo series was great, but I do need to strategize some things differently so that maybe my series don't need 120 episodes to tell the entire story. I thought I had him sinking there on Brooks. He was able to change direction, and I guess we're kind of, throwing it into a spot he can get to there, obviously. First interception of 26, guys. I've been doing this a lot on the second channel with speeding up the pace of my series and trying to contain these to more doable pockets at time. I'm not trying to do 12-month series anymore of really anything. I'm hoping that Buffalo is the last one that needs to go a full year. 24-14 now. Now we're in a little bit of a bind as we'll get Benson to the outside. So I will be playing Dynasty, but I want to give myself the chance to do some of these series quicker. And I think about, bringing Madden back to the main channel again. And I know I do not want to be doing 20 episodes to do a full season. With an off-season, edited off-season, preseason, 17 games, maybe the playoffs if we're any good. YouTube, the landscape of YouTube has changed a lot. And those series for me have not performed like the old ones did, where it made more sense for me to do them for 12 months. But really the last 5 years, it's been a downward trend with that kind of formula. How's the game feel? Pretty good overall. Nice move, Troy Evans. Troy Evans, to me, was always a guy who would finish his college career and then go play arena football. So, I mean, this last season I did in Buffalo was a really good way for me to test out what it's like to make franchise content, compiling more games. That was a more sped up, extreme version of what I have in mind. But I think something that feels like that it's definitely what I'm going to try. And I feel this is something that I both need to do, but also want to do. I want time to do some other stuff on the channel in the fall. I want to be a little more NFL-centric this year. I want to do, you know, not just a franchise, but I want to do some of these rebuild ideas I've been sitting on for years. I want to do some one-off rebuilds like I did with the Vikings last year. And the only way I'm going to be able to do some of this stuff is if I don't have like a 12-month series that needs constant attention that way. And I think that this will be a good, you know, experiment at the worst and a good modernization of the series at best. As long as it gives you means to keep making these as a job, we don't mind you keep changing the formula. Yeah, and I don't want to change it, you know, in the most drastic of ways. Like, I'm still not going to be simulating anything. I think I'm willing to try some sort of series where I play the moments or do something more sped up, but I'm not attempting to do that with my next Dynasty I have in mind. Uh-oh. Did Marquise just get hurt? Austin Bradley is now in. Austin Bradley has entered the game, everybody. And Bradley's going to step up. Throwing incomplete. Yeah, we got to get him back in the game here on the next drive. No! First field goal of 26 is no good. The Morgan Grass Manis days are continuing. Oh, no. Have I ever considered doing a team builder dynasty where you have a second team builder team as the rival to the one you're controlling? That's a super cool idea. I've not really thought specifically about that too much, but I do think it would be cool to have multiple team builders as kind of like side-by-side teams developing alongside you. That would be really neat. Man, too good. You know to skip position change phase, right? I was warned about position changes. I'm guessing it's okay to change your incoming athlete freshman, but you really should not be changing your existing roster right now, from what I'm hearing. Come on, guys. Make a couple plays. Is it too much to ask for? Don't change any athletes either? You want them to get auto-assigned? Okay. Can you tell me what exactly, like, say I take an athlete and I'm like, I want to move him to quarterback. What are the main negatives that we're seeing there? I was warned, but I wasn't given a lot of detail. There you go. That's a sack. That's a read option. You said sack. I think I want to put Callis... Well, if I do put Kalispell in my dynasty, the one issue is that it would have to be an online dynasty. And I try to shy away from going online in most cases. Sometimes the servers are down, or sometimes you get booted. And... oh, that's going to be a deep shot to the end zone. It's knocked away. Look good, too. Yeah, I'll have to think about that. Adds way too many skill caps. Yeah, sounds like something that'll have to be patched here hopefully soon, but At times, that first big patch can take a little time. Sometimes you got to wait a couple weeks, even in the early window here. They said you can do offline for Teambuilder. I didn't see that. I was seeing you had to be online. Excuse me for wanting to run a bootleg. I think it'd be a lot of fun to run an offense like Army sometime. And that's the other part I wanted to talk about too with like focusing on all these like 12-month series is I don't get a lot of reps or a chance to try out different things in the same cycle. You know, when I spend almost all my time with one team, and granted I did a Miami series at the same time that was much shorter, but the chance to tackle more stuff would allow me to maybe give you some variety the channel's been missing. No, I wasn't intending to make a Kalispell Dynasty, not a full one. Not right now, but I surely wanted to bring him back this year. Oh, it's Chance Morrow scoring on us here. Am I doing a Miami type of Dynasty this year? No. Honestly, that format, I thought I would like it a lot more for CFB, and maybe it had something to do with Miami already being like a big program, but I still feel way more at home doing that format for Madden, where I know the other teams and I just don't feel as lost. Doing Miami never felt like doing my Madden stuff, and that's the thing that surprised me last year. Oh, boy. I didn't want to make the jerseys Adidas because the fonts you have access to and a lot of the styling actually comes down to what brand you choose to use. For instance, the collar customization is exclusive to Nike, and the Nike fonts are terrible. The font here that I'm using is only for Under Armour, and that's why it's an Under Armour uniform. Walker, incomplete. We're going to head to the fourth quarter. Any team builder dynasty, think maybe a Savannah Banana type one might be cool. Granted, that might make more sense in an arena league than college. It depends how traditional the teams are trying to be. Like for me, I tried to make Kalispell a team that would fit in as a one-star school and add some flair to the West there, where there aren't that many teams to begin with. There we go, Marquise. There we go. Almost overthrew him that time, but Everett Whitfield makes the grab. I have no Marlins today. I was putting the finishing touches here on this. I am looking to get a Marlins episode up sometime this weekend. And that will end up being the Doug Butcher debut episode. As soon as I get back on the game, calling him up is our next move. Uh-oh. Sammy, get up. I got Albert Green here in the game now as Sammy leaves. Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of that feedback about Rutgers. Thank you for the super chat. They have so many seniors. I think that, yeah, 35 seniors. And then you could lose a bunch more in the transfer portal. Like, you're going to be stuck with a bunch of walk-ons if you pick Rutgers in most cases. Ah, come on, Rashawn. Get through a little bit cleaner, please. That threw off the timing. All right, we're going to try field goal here again. Keith Britton. Got it this time. Never a doubt. I've never done an out of the park series, no. All right, if the defense can step it up here late, maybe we have a chance to close the gap, but we have to pretty much keep them out of the end zone again. Probably no more points for Buffalo. We need Marcus Calhoun to step it up here. 2nd down and 7. There's pressure. Getting it away. Third and 7 now for the Buffalo offense. And pressure gets there. It's a sack. Not done yet, guys. What I consider Washington State, I haven't really given them a ton of thought for this this year. I appreciate the super chat. There are so many teams in the game. I usually have a handful I'm interested in. But in this case, not Washington State. Nice catch. Save some time. A little read option, I think, is what we're due for here. Nice job, Whitfield. Benson. 1st down. You know, I'll be doing a franchise rebuild on the 2nd channel, and then once I get underway in my Dynasty on the main, then, you know, I don't think I'll do a Madden franchise this year, but we will see if, you know, doing something new changes my mind or makes it seem more possible, because I need to kind of rediscover the main channel a bit is kind of my focus in the short term. And hopefully, you know, it's a good year for Madden. Down 14, and that's going to be trouble. Another sack for Buffalo. We got Walker already. Oh, man, his arm strength is way down right now, too. So if we want to throw it downfield, we're going to need Austin Bradley, probably. Or we could just not throw it downfield, right? Short again. We'll have to get the next 2 here. And it's 4th and 2. We're going to keep it on the ground this time. I don't think so. Nope. That one hurts. Oh boy, getting gashed here on the ground. It's Al-J Henderson. Where's he been? I've thought about a number of different teams for Madden this year. You know, one team I'm considering, and I want to see ratings before I really decide, but I don't know. I like to look for teams where I can add some skill talent. And I think Seattle having like Kenneth Walker, JSN, definitely makes them a little less intriguing for this year. But Seattle was the team I was kind of intrigued by. You know, Atlanta has so much skill talent as well. Leon Daniels originates from the Minnesota Dynasty because he was a walk-on who I wanted to cut from the roster because he was like a 45 overall. He wasn't going to play. But we had to have a certain number of linebackers, and we couldn't cut him. And when I tried to cut him, it failed. The chat latched on and turned him into a huge personality. The motivational presence we could not get off the roster. Eventually, he did get a small bit of playing time. Went on to have a brilliant coaching career with the Kalispell Warhawks, and now he's a certified channel legend. Over the middle, it's snowing. Victor Snow inside the 10. Your Jaguar series was always exciting. The team would always come up with some crazy comebacks. Also, there's a safety in your Broncos franchise who would always get his ankle broken. Oh, you're thinking of Tyrone Brightful from the Chargers series. Spins out Brightful. Never forget. Not that you could. Because he'd do it every week. Touchdown, Buffalo. Man, we are not a good tackling defense at all. The Steelers are an obvious choice, and you get to finally experience Aaron Rodgers in a franchise. I would say I would actually consider Pittsburgh. I think I would consider Pittsburgh. The Jets. I would consider Miami if I hadn't just done a bunch of Miami stuff. I'm doing the Miami Marlins right now. I did the Miami Hurricanes last year. I'm not touching Miami for a while. I haven't really considered Tampa. They just seem like too good of a solid wild card team. I'm going to throw in Austin Bradley here at the end. I'd say overall, it doesn't feel like there are as many obvious franchise candidates this year, especially when you take out teams I've done recently, like the Saints, Titans, Raiders. Good hands by Tyler Adams. That was nice. I think I'd actually consider Dallas, but we all know they tend to sim pretty well, and I don't know how challenging it would truly be. I think Indianapolis is one team I'd have to consider. I haven't spent a lot of time with the Colts over the years. There was a little bit of Matt Pierre action there back in the day. I've done a Bears franchise. I have doubled up on teams at times, but I don't think I'll pick the Bears this year. Man, that first step is so slow there, Austin. I'd have to see some of the Patriot ratings. I know, like, outside of Drake May, it's not a lot of standout talent there. Turnover on downs, and that's going to be it, guys. If you want to use Kalispell here in Dynasty, just know it's going to be a difficult road. I thought we started the game very well, but ran out of gas, and Buffalo lays the smackdown on us, and we drop it 38-17. I did a Cardinals series not that long ago, so I'd ideally go somewhere else. It feels like a smaller list for me to choose from this year, though. Yeah, I just did the Saints way too recently. They're going to be a great team for people to pick. Jets, Steelers, Colts are probably my short list right now. It's not a bad short list either. All right, I'm just checking out some stats here just to kind of look at the sliders and what they're producing. And also how Kalispell fares, which obviously wasn't too good here. 21-28 for Marquise Walker, 1 pick. Thought we ran all right with Eddie Benson when we tried. Tyler Adams, 6 catches. Not the Dolphins, because I've done so much Miami-based content lately, or I would consider them. Like, I can't do 3 straight, like 3 out of 4 series on the second channel in Miami. I want to try to branch out, you know. It's good for me to get different fan bases interested. And repeating the same city, I don't think is what I want to do. But yeah, I'm just getting a feel for Dynasty here and trying to take a look at anything that catches my attention in terms of being new or different. So yeah, I am going to do a little bit of recruiting here with Kalispell, and I'll get into a little play the moments. Not often I actually get into franchise or dynasty ahead of doing my more serious series. I kind of like, you know, going into it fresh adds a little bit of difficulty on top of it. But I do like exploring to see what's kind of new. Yeah, 350 hours is not a ton to work with here, unfortunately. That's why I'm going with more 25s. A bust might still be worth it for a team in this position, too. I should offer a few scholarships this week. Thoughts on Culver's? Culver's is an S tier fast food institution. I had a mushroom and Swiss, root beer, and custard. Gotta get you some of those cheese curds too while you're at it. Also, Culver's has some of the most underrated or maybe unknown, because like it's a burger place and it's not, all over the country, although they seem to be more and more places every year. But their chicken tenders are really good. I was always a fan of the buffalo tenders. I've had some issues with my throat and I can't do as much spice anymore, but I love the buffalo tenders. I still like the regular. Nice. Don't have enough points. Story of your life when you're in day one of a Teambuilder 1-star. The best Culver's order. Okay, Thomas, I'm going to put this to the test. Double Butterburger with cheese. Good start. Root beer float. Cheese curds and ranch. Yeah, that's a pretty great order right there. Root beer float. I think they have their own root beer. Like any place that makes their own root beer, I'm way more interested. I want some cheese curds, man. Go to practice, hold the right trigger, and flick the right stick left for a much improved quarterback escape animation. Hold right trigger, flick right stick is the other good one. I'll have to check that out. Can we get a coach upgrade? Yeah, we can take a look at what we can do here. So I made Remy Jean-Charles a motivator. So we might not have access to other coaching trees or other coachability trees for a while. But interest boost for a position when a current player hits a skill cap. So you're showing you can develop a player at a certain position. And I kind of like that. I'm going with running back, of course. Double mushroom and Swiss Butterburger basket with a Coke Zero and an additional side of cheese curds. I've also become a big In-N-Out guy. I don't know if there's a better, Culver's is up there too, but just like a better like $5 burger in the game. Yeah, we are getting destroyed this week. Oh, there we go. They show it now, top 5 with that green indicator. That's definitely much better. And yeah, we're probably not going to compete with Missouri in a battle like that. But Khalil Long, that's a different story. And again, I'm not sure how much of this I'm really going to do. It might just be this night, but I wanted to at least jump in and see what everybody thought of Kalispell being back now in terms of, just having a chance to have it in the game. Kalispell is a stream dynasty once every week. We'll see what happens. Been a long time since I really had a stream series. I used to do them a lot more, like NFL head coach and some other projects. $80 power moves here? Yeah, that would be immediately interesting. Richard Overeem. I only have 5 points here, so let me just throw 5 more into here, and let's see us. Let's do a little play the moments. Let's see what that's like going into South California. University of South California. Southern California. Got the road unis here. I am excited to check out some weather games. Yes, the footage they've shown in the snow where you have like 6 feet of visibility, pretty insane. Give us the top 5 Dynasty options. I still am not 100% decided on the team, but if you want to know who's on my mind right now, there are a number of Sunbelt teams I'm interested in. So I've already been talking a little bit about teams like Arkansas State, UAB. I'll throw Troy into that mix because I think they have really good uniforms, and I think that they're just, you know, another really good fit potentially for a smaller school. You know, Coastal Carolina also looked interesting to me. And then Louisiana Lafayette. The Ragin' Cajuns also kind of interesting to me. Oh, did I pick playing regular? I don't want to do that. It's so cool seeing these graphics pop up for these players. All right, play key moments. All right, defending the red zone. We have no shot. Sweeping, running, scoring. Touchdown, Trojans. That was easy, wasn't it? It's going to be all of these red zone sequences where they'll probably find a way to score immediately. 3rd down and 8. That's better if we can tackle. Not bad. A-State alum and watching 10 plus years, you know my vote. Appreciate the super chat, Kyle. I'll make a final decision here shortly, and if I feel the game is ready for us, then we're going to get started maybe in the next week. Can I request a consideration for Charlotte? I can take more of a look at them too. I was checking out some rosters earlier, and I think I crossed out a few teams because there was, you know, at least some decent higher-end talent. There are actually a lot of teams who have, like, standout running backs randomly at, like, 85. Uh-oh. On the screen, we're in trouble. Hey, Kane, thanks, as always, for the quality content. Can't wait to be named the next coach of your next dynasty. From Kevin Kajust. Shouldn't you be at arena football practice right now? Appreciate it, Kevin. Ooh. So I had been considering Hawaii, and then I saw C4 chose them for his first dynasty, and I'm going to let him have Hawaii off the bat, and I took them out of the running. He got off to a faster start. As is USC here in this case with their second touchdown, and we're down 3 scores in the first quarter. I have not gotten to play an offensive moment. Now is our time. Scrambling is sometimes your best option here with Marquise Walker. Yeah, let's celebrate Chase Claypool style instead of running to the line. That's on me for wanting to set up a intermediate route there. Yeah, I did see Bengals start to his App State Dynasty. Come back. I thought we had him there. Got Sonny Archer on the field here. We'll go over the middle. It is Troy Evans. How about that? We got a first down. Let's go get some points. Scrambling again. Call a timeout. I don't have an ETA yet. I would say probably sometime in the next week I would like to get underway if all seems good to go. Doesn't have to be perfect, just in a good starting point spot. Sit it down there with Sean Brooks. Forgot the control for spiking. What is it again? I held circle because that's what it was for years. It's square, isn't it? It's hold square and then you choose it as a play. $51-0. Don't worry, though. We have a situation here where we're trying to keep the drive alive. Good to know we're still fighting to the very end. Over the middle, and we got to go for it there. Troy Evans. No? They are giving me the fourth down. 8 of 26. Can't even do a 4th and 1 with this team. Closer than I thought it would be. What were you expecting? Triple digits? Lofted out there. Wow. That was an accurate ball. No one shuts out the Kalispell Warhawks, okay? Sammy Hawthorne in for the touchdown as we cut the lead to 44. I'm not giving them 2 points right there. Not that easily. Benson. Eight carries, 14 yards. About as lopsided as it really gets here at the FBS level. We're not giving up, though. We should give up, probably. But I'm stubborn. Over the middle, Evans! I think it's clear who one of the best players is here. Troy Evans just keeps finding a way to make plays the rest of the players aren't. And that's going to be it here. USC 51-7. They take this one, dropping us to 0-2. Put the sword down. We're already dead. All right, we're going on to the next one. All we got this week is recruiting. All right. Top 5 here on Brenton Crumpler. Gritty possession receiver. So medium route running's all right. Short running's all right, but 79 speed? I've already offered. I'll go 10. Yeah, we are not going to beat out Missouri here for Logan Cook. This is probably a losing battle. I say we go all in here on Khalil Long as much as we can. Thankfully, no one else is looking at him right now. How about this receiver, Matthew Simons? 84. Now we're getting a little somewhere. A little bit. Yeah, I'm not sure if this is something you guys wanted to see as like a little stream series, but I guess that's a possibility. Oh, Kalispell in Minnesota. It's a rivalry game. Let's check out the rivalry history. Where do they keep that stuff in here? So that's going to be stats and records. CFB history. I want to see our... Is there a place in the menu where you can check out the rivals? Or is it just when you get into a game? Because I did update the history from everything from the Kalispell original Dynasty. So our record against Minnesota, Stanford, Hawaii, Wyoming are all intact. I know it shows up in-game beforehand, so we got to check that out. Let's see the rivalry presentation as we take on the Minnesota Gophers. We had Minnesota's number throughout the series for sure, but they did beat us, I think, twice, including the first meeting. And Leon Daniels, the head coach of Kalispell, of course, played for Minnesota in my Minnesota Dynasty. So that's where the rivalry started. Let's see if they give us a little introduction. I might have to get into like the first play or something, and we'll see what they do. 72 degrees, a little bit more believable. All right, give me the breakdown. I love that. When do I get my little breakdown here? I'll play out like the first drive and see if anything pops up. A little cut back into the pursuit. This might be a quick opening drive if we're being honest. I just remembered how much of a mismatch this is set to be. Sammy hitting the cutback here, and we'll gain 3. I need something a little bit shorter. And of course, we cannot actually... it takes us 2 attempts here to audible, and down he goes. Sacked. I'm waiting on some rivalry info. Maybe at the end of the game they'll tell us. This will be fun tonight. Where does Jamari Akinjide rank on your favorite safeties over the channels? Like top 2 or 3, without a doubt. I mean, he's a legendary player, man. That guy is what Isaiah Simmons was supposed to be. And as a matter of fact, did move to linebacker at one point. All right, let's see what they do for moments this time around against the Gophers. You know, I think the Gophers are pretty close in this game to like where Buffalo is, and that was at least a competitive game. But maybe it's different when you're talking about play the moments versus playing every snap. But here's a chance. Let's get off to a good start. Bring pressure. There you go. Nice tackle. We held him. And we're on defense again. That looks like running room to me. Darius Taylor. Just getting started there on his first carry. Y'all making me feel so old. Like, I watched Kalispell in preschool, and now I got my AARP membership. Like, thanks, guys. Touchdown, Minnesota. It's Darius Taylor. Could be a long day once again. Am I ever going to get to play any offense? Thank you, State. More Darius Taylor, but look at that tackle. We held him. Dude, are you going to give me any offense? I really want to see what we're doing against a team like Minnesota, because we should be a little bit better than this. I got to see those stats. Like, Walker had a really bad completion percentage against USC. That's a stop. Field goal time for the Gophers. Here we go, taking over on a 3rd and 7 now, 13-0. Got to get some of these if we're to stay and make this a game. Bro, I was literally just rewatching the old Dynasty. And now if you want, you can play with this team in your own Dynasty. There we go, Troy Evans. Just isolate him there. Evans feels like the go-to guy on this offense for sure. 5 for 9, 70 yards for Walker. That's not too bad. See if we can cap it off here. Eddie Benson inside the 10. Put Sammy Hawthorne now in the game. Pressure coming, trying to get this one to Rashawn Brooks. You'll notice that Walker does have an interception. I did not throw it. I've never run this play before. I want to see what it looks like as we dump it for Troy Evans. That's definitely a Troy Evans play. Maybe not the time to be breaking it out. All right, can Hawthorne punch it in for us? And we do get in. They had some backfield penetration there, but we got around it. Touchdown, Warhawks. What do you guys think of the uniforms? Are they all right? I do like how they came out overall. Yeah, I'm excited to see some of those gadget players in recruiting and what some of the new archetypes look like there. All right, Minnesota ball again, driving on 3rd down. This will extend their drive. Please don't be a counter to the right. Oh, it's a pass. And Drake Lindsey's getting chased and sacked. He gets dropped by Joey Daniel. Yeah, it's amazing seeing these names again. Got Minnesota backed up, and down he goes again. We don't want him getting anything here. Blake Barrett. I'm waiting for a big play, though, for number 56. When's Marcus Calhoun going to make a big play for us? That's the captain of the defense, the original captain, of course. Lindsey forced to settle it short, partially because Calhoun was in the right spot and did his job. Mr. Blackbird, thank you for becoming a new channel member. I appreciate that. Appreciate you supporting the channel that way. And for everybody being here on this first Friday of college football 26. You like the shoulders? Yeah, I wasn't so sure about the road uniform shoulders, but I did my best. All right, 16-7. This play has just gotten us destroyed so often. I usually like this play action slide. I'm not sure if it's the play, if it's our team, but we got to throw it out for the time being. Drive is off to a horrid start. And come on, around him. He caught that ball. Rashawn Brooks on the dive. That was sick. I got to see that one again because I usually end up like picked when I throw one like this. Right around him. That is awesome. Do I have a favorite AFC team? No, but I'd say I have a soft spot for the Chargers, who are like the AFC version of the Vikings. Man, 4th down, could not get it there. Really had to have a good 2-minute drill, I feel, here to have a good chance at winning this game. At least that pass, though, to Brooks was cool. We'll always have that. Time to recruit Ja'Cory Day. Guess who's here, everybody? Look who is in the building, the one and only Blackjack 21. How is it going? I saw you were streaming some Last Defense Academy the other night. I hope you're still streaming that more because I want to pop in and check that out. But Blackjack, of course, is partially the architect of everything that was special about the Kalispell Dynasty, from the custom recruits to designing the uniforms, because we all know I couldn't have done it on my own, to even helping pick Kalispell as the city. So big thanks to Blackjack, as always, for everything he contributed to this series and the Broncos series. That was an amazing time. Yeah, so Teambuilder is not perfect. There are some things missing from back when we used to do it on 14. You'll notice that, like, the collar, it's plain. That's because... I have to run a play before I can go into replay. The jersey options are tied to the brand you choose. If you pick a Nike jersey, you do get a couple color options. However, font choices are tied to the brands, and I didn't like any Nike fonts. So this is an Under Armour set because they had the letter font and the number font that I thought worked. So this is kind of my 2025 version of the helmet. Similar striping to what you did at the top there. I was able to throw a little Kalispell text here on the front bumper, which I thought was a nice touch. Still the OG logo, same file I would have uploaded back in 2016. My file was dated for like December 2016. Still there. That's the OG file. I still had it. But yeah, I wish I could space out the numbers a little bit, but you don't get granular control there. If I spread it out, then they're like 2 or 3 inches apart and it looks weird. But someone showed me that there is something you can do with one of the Adobe, maybe Adobe Illustrator, and they made some files, and they recreated the old uniforms that you designed. And so they sent me over the assets. I'm going to try to recreate them for this weekend, and then I'll re-upload the Teambuilder so it has my new uniform, but I left space for the Classic Home and Classic Road sets. 19-17 here in the third against Minnesota. Going to keep them out of the end zone, it looks like. Oh, by the way, I had to listen to one of your recommendations the other day. I did end up picking up AI, the Somnium Files. I got to check out more of these Spike Chunsoft games, so... I tend to follow your taste when it comes to games, and... I don't know, I just pretty much say yes to all your ideas, because I tend to like them. Tyler Adams here on the drag. It's 29-7 right now, so we have not been able to keep this one close. Do Blackjacks created rosters, or custom prospects, were so good at giving players personality. And, like, he wasn't just trying to give me great players. Like, there obviously were a lot of amazing players. But he threw a lot of traps in there as well. A lot of traps. Who was that receiver? Who was the receiver with like 97 speed and 52 catching, and there was no way of knowing his catching rating pre-draft? Who was that? Clifford. Clifford was the last name. Marquise Clifford went to the San Francisco 49ers. Marquand Clifford. Marquand Clifford, that's right. And I feel that... Oh, that was 4th and 10. I just ran it there. I didn't realize that because I'm playing moments, and I'm not used to jumping into a 4th and 10. I feel that EA more so is trying to emulate a lot of what you're doing. Like, I have seen some speedsters with stone hands now from the EA classes. But we had that going back in Madden 20 with those Broncos classes. Yeah, this is going to be another L on the season for Kalispell here. I'm enjoying the game a lot so far. I mean, I had an awesome time with 25. I think y'all know I like 25 a lot. And I haven't gotten to play a lot of full games here on 26 yet because I've been playing both Road to Glory and I spent a lot of time in Teambuilder so that I could be here streaming this today. So as I, you know, maybe play more of this weekend or dive into a more full Dynasty, I'll be able to really see what I like more or if I think anything is worse than last year. There we go, Rashawn Brooks. I think our next game is against a little bit more winnable opponent as Brooks is going to make the catch, break away for a moment. Just a plain green sign. Yeah, Teambuilder still has some limitations. You don't get, like, to pick your fight song or a mascot or anything like that. Didn't you get to pick a mascot in 14s? I thought you could. But they're all so distinct, it wouldn't really make sense for a Teambuilder team to have another mascot with a logo all over him and looking out of place. Up top for Sonny Archer, and it's picked off in the end zone instead. Big win there. Now tell me, is there... I inserted the rivalry history. That's something that is in Teambuilder that's cool, but at no point have I been notified about this being a rivalry game or showing the past history. And I wonder, like, I know it's going to show up somewhere, but I didn't get to see it in this case. I hope I'm not spoiling anything, but I believe transfer players get off-season training boosts unlike last year. Oh, if that's what you consider a spoiler, I want to know that information because obviously it was a problem last year that they didn't get any development, and I really wanted to see them change that for this year. It takes so many points to scout guys when you're this fresh. It ain't easy. I feel like I have seen a lot of blitzes. Yes. But I feel like I get blitzed all the time. I am not interested in manually upgrading. I like the more hands-off approach to that part of Dynasty, and I felt like I didn't miss it at all. And these rosters are so huge, I don't even want to spend the time doing it. All right, let's continue to do a little bit of scouting here, see if we can get some decent info uncovered. Alex Paul. I mean, most 3-stars are going to fit in nicely on this team. I don't have to really do a ton of scouting, but I want to do some. What conference? So Kalispell, I have things set up like it's year one at Kalispell again. They're in the Mountain West in this case. It is the year one roster brought back. I redid ratings to make sense in this game. Added abilities, built skill sets around certain archetypes. I set all the dev traits. So this is really a ready-to-go file. Like, I put a lot of, effort and thought into how I was going to go about this. And I like how it's come out. And if you wanted to use Kalispell or have them also in your Dynasty, they're available. And also, Blackjack, check out the coach here. We got Remy Jean-Charles taking over. He might be done sending more athletes into the Division I ranks, but who knows? There might be another couple sons out there that will show up. Oh, yeah, and now you get to actually have, I mean, it's a generic stadium, but it looks an awful lot like the Central Michigan one that we took in 14. Oh, man. And Blackjack, if you're still in here, I'm not sure if you are still. Obviously, thank you for everything you did for the series, and little nod to you is over here in the end zone. Otherwise, this field is basically the field that we had back in NCAA 14. And actually, the text is a lot higher res than it was back then, so it looks so much better. Have you played CFB 25 or 26? I wasn't sure if you ever got back into the sports side of things. I'll play this first drive again and go play the moments. I'm calling play action. Don't make me regret it. Oh, it's a toss. I could have swore that was a play action deep cross. I must have hit square. I have done this far more often than I would care to. Even in Buffalo. I have faked myself out a few times. Of course. Of course. Definitely got to catch up a little more here soon. We are not getting a first down, though, on this opening possession, guys. That punt didn't seem like it went very far. I've never really seen that before. Max power, and like the punter doesn't have like 52 kick power or anything, but that thing just really did not travel. And it bounced in front of the returner. I don't know if that's like a weather effect of kicking, but that felt right. You see a lot of those types of punts here in bad conditions. Now let's do play the moments again. I was going through our rivalry history earlier today, and I was like seeing all the years we had played Hawaii. I had forgotten that Hawaii was our first ever win in this series, and the team that we beat for our first, I think, 2 conference championships. They got the better of us a couple times, but we definitely owned that series overall. To me, they are the main Mountain West rival. There we go, Marcus. Marcus Calhoun into the backfield there. Wish we had seen like a splash play from him at some point here. And I think the defense is better than the offense here on this team, so would like to see a little bit more from them. That kick did not really get up there very far, did it? All right, first down at the 12. We have a chance to actually go on top here. I'm excited to play the Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3 remake after work tonight. Wreck. 1 second. Let me get stopped here for a loss of 2 quick. I picked it up too. I had to get the board. I think this is such a sick piece, and I always liked the Tony Hawk games. I actually got into them more so after Pro Skater. American Wasteland, Underground, Underground 2. But I'm looking for pieces to deck out the room, and like that was just too good, so I had to pick up the collector's edition of it. I don't get collector's editions very often, man. The protection here is just so brutal. I was playing through Pro Skater 3 a bit last night. I was playing the Foundry map. Flag down, by the way, and we're going to probably be losing yardage. I played through Foundry last night. I finished all the tasks, and then I did a few speed runs of it. Yeah, I like the game a lot. Oh, no, not Norris Medlock going down. That's the best offensive lineman here. This is the OG Year 1 roster, indeed. I am not using Mat 10 sliders right now. I'm just on default Heisman for the time being, but I will be checking out his stuff, and he sent him over to me. Oh, we're at the 1. It pays to know exactly down and distance where you are on the field. Touchdown UTSA. We go down a touchdown. I don't know. This is a full yard. I think they're sending pressure too. And they aren't. In that case, I'm not going to have the time. No, I want to go for it. I guess I had more options there. I could have done something. But yeah, if you pick this team, just know, like, you're expected to have a tough time early. There are a couple good players, but only a couple. 10-3. McCown extending, and across the middle. He hooks up, has the first down. This is Josh McCown's son, Owen McCown, by the way. On the ready. Black 24. 37 seconds and touchdown. Roadrunners extend their lead in Kalispell. Yeah, he always does a great job with the sliders. I mean, he does things and kind of sees the game the way I do in terms of what you want to emphasize and what you're looking for from pass blocking, pass coverage, and everything else. I keep screwing up because they throw me in on like 3rd and 6. And I'm like calling the plays like it's 1st and 10 too often. Down 17. This team is not scoring a whole lot in Super Sim, are they? Eddie Benson inside the 5. I know the point is that, like, I take over in a lot of the key spots, so part of the reason is that they want me to finish the drive. But they are not lucking into much. Extending. Nope, can't do it. Yep. Loss of 7. Couldn't hit Evans. Your kick power is so nerfed. I'm used to these chip shots. I can just go partway up the meter. Wow. How much does the rain affect kick power? Hey, what's going on, Kenny? Now, what's going on, Not the Expert, as well? How's it going? Kenny, you've missed. I've just showed off the team, and I jumped into a little Dynasty here. I'm playing the moments right now and struggling because it's the Year 1 Warhawks. Season 1 roster intact. Oh, what a catch. He didn't catch it, actually. Yeah. This is the 1-star version of Kalispell that has one player at 75 overall, like 6 above a 70. This is the day 1 team. Comeback route, Rashawn Brooks. Ooh. We'll take that. We scored. We actually scored, and now we're going to try to do it again. The Matt 10 sliders have dropped already. I think he posted them on Twitter. Ooh. Yes! I knew I wasn't trying to throw a bullet there. He ended up throwing it with the trajectory I wanted, so he'd lead the receiver. All right, under 4 minutes to go now. I shouldn't have thrown it. But yeah, it could be potentially interesting to do at least a couple seasons of this on stream, and not all tonight, but as we look for some fun to do here in the early days. Got a little greedy on that one, I'll admit. I keep calling plays that I've never seen before. There's a lot of really good designs in here. That's one of the things that I thought really made CFB fun last year, where the playbooks were incredible, especially in comparison to Madden. All right, you know what I want on this play, right? If you've watched the channel for a couple years, and I'm not going to have it because the offensive line is terrible. I have no time to hit any sort of dig route or anything like that 15 yards downfield. That's a staple of my offense. 27-9, Kalispell goes down. But we haven't really gotten into conference play, right? We threw it 47 times. Oh, because we couldn't run the ball at all. That is pathetic. I got to check the injuries, too. I want to see if we're playing without any of the starters. Darren Owens at left guard is indeed out with a broken toe. I didn't see very many 9-week injuries in CFB 25, so that's interesting. 0-4. If I'm not mistaken, Kalispell's first win in year 1 came in the 5th game against Hawaii. And now who do we get in our 5th game? Colorado State. All right. We're going to try. I'm out on this quarterback. I didn't like him that much anyway. You can have him, Matt Rule. I do want Khalil Long in this case. I'm going to have to add some more offensive linemen to the board, though. I didn't do a good job of picking all the different positions at the beginning of this. Maurice Dugans. Can I get into the mix here against Tulsa, who's offered already? Give me pipelines, or give me interest. I'm going to have to try. Give me pipelines next. And yeah, the 2 guys in our pipeline want nothing to do with little Kalispell, Montana. I'm so used to like spending 20 points on scouting. That's been the toughest part of this. I'm not even going to really scout here. He's a 3-star. We're just going to offer a scholarship, and we're going to throw like 50 points and see what he likes here. If that's enough to really make a difference. Let me scout Ezekiel Ragnow a little bit. I don't have the points to do it. Let's just offer him a scholarship instead then. Let's see if we can win this 5th game. I should break out a different uniform. I have 3 uniforms on the team builder, the home, road, and the green alternate. If you haven't already done so, please hit that like button. I'd appreciate it. 90 degrees in like October. One touchdown to 5 picks on the season. This is not looking good for Marquise Walker. Let's see if we can put together an opening drive score, though. I've been doing the opening drive and then play the moments in most of these. We had started off so hot today, too. We scored our first 2 drives against... Who did even play in the beginning? My brain is just fried from the last 2 weeks. There we go. Swing it out. Probably taking the weather from Missouri State, but even then it's a little ridiculous. Yeah, I thought about that. I don't know what all it borrows, but I didn't think it would be weather. Oh yeah, first game was Buffalo, obviously. There we go. Does that mean it would never snow here? If that's the case, like, taking over for Missouri State is not the move. You need a Kalispell snow game. I'll be heartbroken if we can't have one at home, period. Great, our right tackle just got hurt. Sammy Hawthorne, speed option. I'm a speed option guy. Not everybody likes it at all, but I am a speed option guy. I wish you would call the 3rd down running back on the depth chart in more, like on this formation. I guess I have my option here to make that change, but it doesn't help me right now. Ah, it's picked. Perfect coverage on Tyler Adams, and now 1 touchdown to 6 picks on the season. Pec strain for Stuart Andrews. The team is falling apart. Damage control now for the defense. And up top he goes. Knocked away. Blaine Barrett. Now they got us on D facing a 3rd and 2. Looking for another stop. Press man. We can do that, right? Well, it's a run. It doesn't matter. First and 10. End zone. Oh, what a play. That was awesome. Who did that one? I think that was TJ Garner here at free safety. I thought they had 6 right there. They have not been dropping much. But the secondary, you know, it's kind of the highest rated part of this team. You got Cam Davenport on the outside at corner, Blaine Barrett. You got Jay Page at safety. Otis Frazier as well. Secondary's kind of ready to rock for you. Against, like, Delaware, maybe. Third and 6 for Colorado State. Just keep them out of the end zone here, guys. And this time we can't break it up. It's a touchdown. I remember early in that Kalispell Dynasty back in the day, like, teams like Colorado State were intimidating. It was kind of like last year with Buffalo, like Toledo was intimidating. Like, they were really good for our level. Your definition of a powerhouse just changes over time in these builds. He sailed it. He sailed it. It was going to be a tight throw regardless. But Marquise Walker misses and throws another pick. I think I'm not getting a lot of comments to pop up here. 1 second, guys. If you guys have been talking a bunch, I haven't been seeing new comments really pop up all that often. Floating that pass. Ooh, that's a nice one to Everett Whitfield. We'll take that. Yeah, back in the day, we had the Warhawk Bowl, of course, against Louisiana Monroe. That feels like it was so recent. I feel like the last Warhawk Bowl wasn't that long ago. But it had to be. Oh, he's got him right there. Lofted. Touchdown. Chester Dudley. That might be the highlight of the season right there. Wow. Finally, one goes our way. We got to get that first win sometime, right? Oh, look at the play by Marcus Calhoun there. It's a TFL. If we just hold them to 3 here, keep getting a couple touchdowns here and there, we can make this a little more interesting than some of these other games. They catch a lot of balls in traffic, it looks like here. I know in CFB 25, I definitely played a lot more on lower catching sliders because I felt that game was also pretty offensively favored. And I liked the balance of a lower catch rating slider. Come on, get down there, man. We're so slow. I think we got him. All they do is bounce it outside, run away from us. That's the year 1 Kalispell defense, man. There isn't a lot of speed. Happy birthday to you, DVSB. How you doing? Hope you're having a good birthday. Yeah, I want to see some more of those quarterback escape controls. Might have to check it out in practice to really get a feel for it. Again, I thought it was going to be more than one play. Just 3rd down. All right, we'll hit that field goal. I'm never sure if they're going to go through. I've been so bad at field goals. What happened to the score? It's 31-10. What happened? Oh, man, Marquise. The jersey is not looking good today. Angle route, Sammy. No major bugs that I have seen. I've seen a couple videos of like people not being able to snap the ball. That's definitely a problem. Just trying to juke through. Yeah, some of these jerseys are just in rugged shape. I love it. Sammy up the middle here inside the 5. Should have just thrown it and hoped for the best.
Okay, ready? Let's go.
All right, goal to go. Got him. Touchdown, Everett Whitfield. Makes it a 2-score game. That's going to require, though, the defense to do a great job the rest of the way, and we're back down 3 possessions. And they throw me in on a 4th and 8. Good luck. Man, these tackles. I mean, I know what I'm getting into here, but the tackles just cannot get the job done. Custom playbooks are bugged where the same play pops up no matter the frequency. What do you mean by that exactly in terms of like coach suggestion? I have seen it. Yeah, actually, that is a bug I've seen. I hot routed the receiver, and his route ended up going backwards. I think we were in no huddle, and he was, like, running back to the line at the time. So I don't think it's going to have, like, a broad, like, use case or situation where it exists. But that's obviously something that shouldn't be in the game. Sunny down there somewhere. Now let's get Austin Bradley in there for a possession. I'm sure Walker is less than 100% right now. You know, because I tend to do one Dynasty each year, and maybe it changes a bit this year if I can actually figure out how to get these series done in a reasonable amount of time. Like, a coach carousel would be fun, but I've never started off with, like, the idea that I'm going to start with one school, move to another. I've always just focused on one school. A carousel experience could be fun, but I'm not ready to tackle it quite yet. Sit it down. Oh, Troy. Troy. What's the point of getting open if you ain't going to catch it? I'd rather you be covered. Evans does have low catching, relatively low catching. I think it's in the 70s. Low 70s, that is. All right, let's get this one to the end, and maybe I'll do one more. We'll see who the opponent is. We'll see who that next foe is, if it's a more winnable game. There are a few teams in the Mountain West that I felt were fairly even matchups on paper. Maybe like Wyoming. But I'm not sure who's coming up. But we fall to 0-5 on the season there. Yeah, we're about to be Deion Sanders trying to recruit offensive linemen in the portal after this season. Hawaii. I don't know about this one, guys. 4-1 Hawaii. We're going to play Hawaii. I think that's going to be my last game of the day. And then maybe I can come back again to continue this. Do a little bit more if you guys would like. I wanted to see the ratings here on JoJo Irving a little bit. 79 speed vertical threat. That's faster than any tight end on our roster. Everett Whitfield and Chester Dudley are like 75 and under. So that would be a boost for us. All right, it's a rivalry game. Do I get any rivalry information? Not here as I cycle through. It's not in records because that's like statistical records. I don't think it's CFB history because that's all national championships and trophies. None of which are rivalry related. Trophy room, rivalries. But, all right, let me see. Do they have my Teambuilder rivalries in here? Because I didn't get to make a trophy, but I certainly made rivalries. I'm guessing the answer is going to be no. But I'm trying to be thorough. Yeah. So I didn't get anything in-game on the last rivalry matchup. We'll see if it happens this time. I'm going to show you the other alternate here. I'm not going to wear it against Hawaii because they're going to probably have enough. We're in their mostly black uniforms, but yeah, this was the green alternate set. I'll go back with the road uniform this time. Would love if you finish through the off season to see the transfer portal and training. Yeah, if I play every game, I'm not going to get to that tonight. I'd have to sim to the end. I appreciate the super chat. Deciding, do I want to sim to the end here and just see what it would look like? And potentially, well, I would lose some recruiting if I just sim to the end. I would need to put some time into that. Yeah, I would want to do like an off season and go through that maybe in a second stream. I don't think that playing out the rest of the season would take all that long. I'm already getting through 6 games here. Yeah, if I sim, I need to do auto recruiting is all. One play in, offensive line already banged up again. I'm going to make Sammy Hawthorne the RB1, and I'll just sub in Eddie Benson as I specifically want him. Threw this one a little late and a little short of the sticks, too. All right, Hawaii is the final game of the day. Closest game was, I think our best chance to win was our first game against Buffalo. Number 20 at quarterback, that's different. Hawaii, pressure, there we go. Take him down on third down. Lorenzo Easley. Third and 7. Yeah, the transfer portal is crazy this year. There are a lot of players leaving, it looks like, right off the bat. So I haven't really gotten to see if I feel that it's too much. Nice catch by Adams. But yeah, I mean, when they said they were targeting like 2,000 or 3,000 transfer portal players per class, I mean, the math checks out. It was like 15 to 20 players a team every year. That's significant in most cases. Got out of the way! Adams! Yes! All right, we're moving the ball, guys. Could we actually score first? This is a Troy Evans play right here. If Chester Dudley hits a block, we're going to be partying. And you know what? We're still partying because we got 8 yards on first down. That's pretty good for us. There we go, Sammy. There are sliders in the settings for like maximum players lost in the portal each year, if you wanted to mess with that. It's going to be one of those things where like everybody's looking for something a little bit different. All right. Get Walker out of the pocket here. Come on, come back. No! I wanted him to come downhill the way the DB did. Not a team that can afford to miss too many opportunities. But it's third down. I don't think I have any imbalanced line stuff here. It's Wisconsin's playbook, so maybe, I don't know. There are some unbalanced line formations, though. I just haven't taken a look yet. All right, Hawaii's on the board, 3-0. Marcus is in tough shape here. Guess what? You can rest up if you get us a stop here. 3rd and 5. Never had a chance. Under pressure and taking off. It's a Near first down here for Davis. On third down. Looked like we had a chance there. Landon Sims gets it. Yeah, I think part of it this year is they wanted it so that players aren't making interceptions if their eyes aren't actually on the football. So I think that awareness and play rec are both ratings that are going to be a little more important. Maybe particularly awareness, I'm guessing, goes into how that is determined and who's able to get their eyes on the ball to actually make a play versus those who are stuck playing the receiver and their best case is forcing an incomplete pass. I have no commits, no. It's been a very slow-moving process. Here at the halfway point. He dumps it. All right, no touchdowns, though. That's a win so far. Third and 6 at the plus 41. Convert this. Maybe we got a shot at taking the lead then. Haven't scored too many touchdowns. We're setting up the screen for Sammy Hawthorne, and he's got some blocking. Some. First down. I think the slip screens are really good so far from the bit I've played, especially in the Johnny Sampson Road to Glory over on the second channel. Check that out. Now it's a 3rd and 8. And breaking open, that's Brooks. Inside the 10. Some of these our best throws are happening when Walker is just getting smoked in the pocket. Throw it. Fullback. Couldn't catch it. That's David Warren unable to haul it in. We're going to go empty here. And that's a touchdown, Kalispell. Marquise Walker to Rashawn Brooks. Had to beat the blitz. Again, I think these defenses have been extremely aggressive, especially on third down. Well, there we go. That's going to be a Kalispell lead in the first half. Going into halftime, maybe? And Hawaii just scored a big one. They just ripped off a long touchdown. So, hold the phone. It's 14-7. Exactly. This school, I promise, is capable of producing some really good talent, but you're going to need to do some work if you want to see it happen again. I've thought about making like an all-time team or a recreation of year 10. I'm not sure if you can like... If I'd have to start that team builder from scratch and redo like all the other non-roster stuff, like uniforms and everything, before doing that. But at the end of the day, even if it's just the roster, it still would be a big time commitment. And I already put a lot of time into this, and I'd like to start actually playing the game. That's a Hawaii touchdown. 2 straight scores put them up by a couple possessions. We answer, though, 21-14. Wow. It's a game. 3rd and 10, though. At the plus 40. Not enough time to hit Tyler Adams there. We missed it. But was that a red zone turnover maybe? Because now we're at the Hawaii 4. We're at the Hawaii 4, and we're going to run this one. This is big. Give me a little I form here, Eddie Benson. Bouncing, Benson! Hit down at the 2. Third and goal, 1.5 yards out. It's a run, and Benson is in! That's a touchdown! Kalispell ties it up. This is our best chance at a win yet. Maybe we play out the rest of this one. 8 minutes? What do you guys say? Final game of the day, going for our first win here with Kalispell in college football 26. Can we do it? I feel like the rest of the game is a key moment now. There might not be any better chance to win a game. I'm not sure how we got that second touchdown that happened in the sim, and it just kind of happened out of nowhere. Nice tackle. I have accelerated clock, though, so it shouldn't take terribly long to go 7.5 minutes. Oh, come on. Sloppy tackling out of this defense. Yep, transfers are really heavy in this one, so it's just one of those things that either you're going to have to tweak the settings if you don't like it, or figure out how to, work around it. That was a nice throw and catch. As long as we can have the ball with a chance to take the lead late, like if they get a field goal, not the end of the world. A touchdown could be. Nice TFL. Marcus Calhoun. I'm waiting for someone to come up, though, with like a big turnover. Over the middle, and we just look slow with that route in front of linebacker Zach Flowers there, 45. In the Kalispell Dynasty, by like year 2 or 3, he was like a really good player. All right, second down, and now they're going to get my hopes up for a third down stop. I hate when they do that. I feel like I have to sell out here to have a chance, and then if they throw it, like, we're in trouble. Keeper. Good call. 4.5 to go. And no Boogie Turner here, or the score would be a little bit different. This is the year 1 Kalispell team. The team that ended up winning like 2 or 3 games in season 1. I'd say it's even harder to win with these low-rated teams in this game compared to NCAA 14. Like quarterback ratings didn't matter as much back in the day. The passing game was overall easier. Certain routes were almost unguardable. CPU play calling wasn't great. But after that sack, 2nd and 19. Oh, you got to pick that, Barrett. Come on. 3rd and 19. Back off the corners here. Try to force the ball out quick to a check down. And get him. Get him. All right, so we're going to have some time, guys. Do you believe in Marquise Walker in this offense and maybe more importantly, my decision-making under pressure late in the game? Because it's 24-21. Here's since Papa Nasty and Logan Cannon with the Raiders. Thank you, Jackson. Long time sub. 2:15 to go, guys. This is where legends are created, right? Marquise Walker looking for his first win at Kalispell in college football 26. Gonna run on first down, actually. 7 there. Can I get a little cheesy first down here prior to the warning? I can and more. It's Sammy. Sammy is loose in the defense. Here we go. Inside the 20. That makes things a little easier on us. Wow, what a time for that run. We got to see that one again. We have not had a run open up quite like that. Good combo. And then look at that. Working out here. I'm trying to see who that is because that's Coe. I think he's a left tackle who's filling in here at right tackle. You got Norris Medlock at left guard. Barrett's playing here at right guard. Wow. The perfect run for us. And here we go, guys. We can slow it down even a little bit here if we want to. With 1:57 to go. Troy Evans in space now. They chase him outside, and he gains 5. Let it run. Oh, yeah. Sammy Hawthorne, one of my favorite players from that original team for sure. Letting this clock run a little bit more. Y'all got any fun weekend plans here? Have you checked out the Penn State offensive playbook? There's a play that's broken. You do something pre-play and you can't get yards? I have not seen that bug, and I haven't played with Penn State. Nice blocking, guys. Sammy inside the 5. We're going to let it continue to bleed here late. I got another gadget play for Troy Evans coming up for you here. You're going to the Twins game. That's right. They should be playing right now against Paul Skeens.
Ready.
45 seconds and running. We're going to bring Troy Evans across here. I don't want to get hit, though, for... I don't want to get hit for delay a game. Yeah, give me this one instead. Troy Evans, our best way of widening the field here. Cornerback's going to lose track there. Troy taken down. I'm going to call our second timeout there. What play do we think can punch this in?
On the set.
29 seconds, facing 2nd and goal. Not that time for Sammy. 3rd and goal coming up. I'm letting the clock run a little bit more. And I'm going to call my last timeout, knowing I can't take a sack. I'm going to call it with 13 seconds left. I think here we got to go for the win. All right. Could be final play of the day. One of the final plays right here. Can't get stopped shy. We know that. What's Hawaii going to do? They do bring pressure. Incomplete. It's 4th and goal. We're going to go for the win. We're going to try to win the game right here. We're going to run this rub. Rashawn Brooks on the rub route is what I have in mind as we try to win this game. Against the pressure. Oh, I had both open on the outside. No. Not like this. I had him on the outside. Man. They did not play that how I expected whatsoever. That was so close. That's why it's a rivalry game. Hawaii takes this one. We were so close. Although I do think if I had thrown it to Adams there, the way he got bumped on his route, usually in 25, when guys get bumped, the throw ends up like being inaccurate because they're not at the spot they're meant to be. So it may have been like an errant pass anyway. But as soon as I knew they were blitzing, I'm like, all right, I'm going to the rub. I was already looking that way anyway. Man. But if you guys would like to see this continue, let me know. That is going to do it for this stream tonight. It was fun to get some time in with Kalispell again. And if you want to download them, look up Kalispell on Teambuilder and the username MrHurriicane28, and you will have a chance to play with this same team that was the year 1 Kalispell Dynasty team back in NCAA 14. Yes, I will be doing a proper Dynasty in this game, but it's not going to be with Kalispell. This is just a little stream thing I'm doing that I might continue if you guys would like to see more. But I will be starting to put together a new Dynasty that I think will be a little bit different series, but I'm excited to get underway. But that is going to do it for me tonight, everybody. Unfortunately, could not get a win here with Kalispell. Had a chance there at the end. But that's all for me. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to the channel. And have a good one, everybody. I'll see you with more content soon.